I can't do it properly. Plus, I can get copyrighted by YouTube, so I can't finish this all. Oh, hey everyone, Joe here from Action X. Welcome to Let Joe Talk, or welcome back if, again, somehow I'm keeping you interested in this product. I'm really surprised. Anywho, if you cannot tell by my my failed beginning to do the Joker dance, we are talking about DC films today. But before I get to that, actually, I did have something to talk about before I start this episode off, but I am completely blanking right now. It's been a long day for me, and I still have to do a bunch of other stuff before I even go to bed, so I apologize if I'm on edge, but the only thing I have to let you guys know is that, remember, background's changing soon, so if you've been used to seeing this, it's going to be going away soon. Hopefully, by next episode, it'll be changing. Until then, yeah, so just letting you know, it's not really a big update, but it's just like letting you know that the scenery is about to change yet again. Where will we be going? Where will I be behind? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, this week, we're talking about DC films. And for the first time ever, I don't think I'm shitting on them. I think all my previous Let Joe Talks have been very much shitting on DC films, which has you have your valid reasons why you would shit on them or complain about them. But however, if you are noticing the title of this episode, I'm talking about how DC films finally has its groove back, regardless of certain other aspects that is still yet to come, and hopefully it'll improve as we get later on. So, so the point of this is that I said this internally to myself. I don't think I've ever talked about another piece of content I've ever made before, or maybe I told it to like the many things I've told George before. This was something I probably told him, but I don't think I mentioned it anywhere. When we left Justice League back at the end of 2017, the next 4 films, the next wave of films coming out of DC films, had 2 requirements to do. They had to be great, and they have to prove that DC can make great films again. So, not just on the film itself, but also on the studio-wise. Because right now, Marvel Studios obviously has been making hit after hit after hit since, I think everyone can unanimously agree, since Civil War. I personally think even since Winter Soldier onwards, they've just been knocking out hit after hit. Again, that does mean Age of Ultron and Ant-Man. I understand people have their points on them, but for me, I enjoyed them. But anyway, to DC Films' point, since Justice League, which for me, I personally, I haven't seen Justice League since I've seen it in theaters. I'm actually gonna rewatch it pretty soon. But for me personally, I haven't seen when I remember seeing Justice League in theaters, I was lukewarm on it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, as a lot of people did, or I didn't give it a lot of hate. I understand that film had a lot of behind-the-scenes problems. I understand so many people tried their hands to make it better. I understand that. I still enjoyed the film for what it was, but I knew definitely going forward they cannot keep that quality, because the thing is that, and before I really get to the meat of the conversation, DC Films has had a very, very weird track record pre-2018. When you talk about Batman and Superman being in a film together, you expect that movie to make $1 billion. And then if you take a team-up movie with DC superheroes, you expect that to make $1 billion and be critically acclaimed. We were in the wrong timeline of history. The fact that Batman v Superman couldn't even make $1 billion, and the fact Justice League made less than Batman v Superman, just speaks volumes to how very disorganized that was. And that was a whole nother episode I think I did back then. Check that out if I have done it. I'm blanking on it so hard. I think I did that during season 1. But now, going into post Justice League, when we knew Aquaman was on the way, and Shazam, and Joker, and Birds of Prey, I knew that between Justice League's disappointment, and I say that very loosely, it is a disappointment. You can't deny that. It critically was a disappointment. Commercially, it did not perform how Warner Bros. Did. So that's labeled as a disappointment. We can all agree on that, on those aspects. And before we get to Wonder Woman 1984, which I'm 100%, okay, let's say I'm 95% certain that's going to be a hit. In between those films, we were going to get a movie about a character that everyone has been mostly shitting on since as long as I can remember. A movie about a character that everyone just calls a Superman ripoff. Yes, if you hear this, Alan, I said that. You can punch me when I see you again in a couple weeks. And then they were going to make a movie about Joker without Batman, and then they were going to make a Harley Quinn-esque movie. Again, on paper, now, I understand people hate it when you make the Marvel comparison. I understand why people hate it. I know at the end of the day, DC Films is not Marvel Studio. We've seen that before. They tried to do that, and it failed horribly. We've seen that. But for me personally, if I was to predict the second wave of DC films, I would have instantly thought, oh, we got a Man of Steel 2, we got Wonder Woman 2, we got maybe Suicide Squad 2. Spoilers, we are getting some of those. We're not getting Man of Steel 2. Make up your mind, Warner Brothers. Make a Man of Steel 2. It was an okay film. Oh, it's actually a pretty good film. But anyway, when it came to those 4 movies that we actually got, there was a lot of writing on them. We had to see that DC films can make great films again. Obviously, it'll be difficult to get the Dark Knight level again. I feel like the Dark Knight is like one of the pinnacle movies in terms of like the superhero genre. Very hard to top. But in my opinion, I'm not going to say that Aquaman was better than Dark Knight. Hell no. But for me personally, these are my own separate reviews. These are my own personal review. Aquaman did something that they took a character that I didn't care about at all. I respect Jason Momoa. I had never seen Jason Momoa in any other project beforehand. And yes, I had watched Game of Thrones after I saw him as Aquaman. And they made that a great... They gave me a great cinematic final battle I've ever seen. One of my top 10. Then Shazam, which proved that DC heroes in live action can have heart. It can have... Look, they can have bright color. They still exist. And I really enjoyed Shazam. I really did. And Joker, regardless of what the controversies around the controversies. I mean, I'll briefly touch upon this. If you're making a movie about the Joker, a deranged clown who has done some pretty horrible things in the comics, what are you expecting with a movie? Do you expect a PG-13 movie? No. I respect what Todd Phillips did. I respect the performance that Joaquin Phoenix made. I respect the movie. The movie happened. I liked the movie. I enjoyed the movie. It's something I haven't even really seen since in theaters. I haven't. I feel like the atmosphere that Joker had going to the theater experience was something very niche that I don't think I could ever recreate in my home. If I have a friend or someone that I care about that wants to see the movie, I'll show them the movie. I'll probably see the movie then again, but it's not something I want to go back and watch again. But I respect Joker. I respect it as a movie. That's my opinion. And then seeing Birds of Prey literally a couple weeks ago, a week when I'm recording this, a couple weeks ago when this is getting posted, I really, really, really enjoyed Birds of Prey. It was fun. It was colorful. It took what things worked in the DCEU and expanded on them, and they made them better. Black Mask, amazing, a great villain. Ian McGregor, goddamn, such a great actor. And Margot Robbie did a great job as Harley Quinn once again. All the new characters did their own thing, and they all shined in their roles. So I feel like for me personally, like they've already went past the hump. They somehow got through this hump exceptionally. Aquaman made $1 billion. Shazam and Birds of Prey did critically well, and Joker did beyond expectations. Like, come on. If I was like, again, another one of me and George conversations. Like when we talked about Joker going into it, I think I told him like I would not expect this movie to make even. I think $500 million was being too nice. The fact that it doubled that is just something like, wow, what a movie. And I feel like I'm not going to take any credit for it because I'm pretty sure these were already in motion when I made the last Let's Talk that I talked about how DC films or how superhero movies should be run. I said that the studios have to let the directors, the writers, the cast do their own thing. Yes, at the end of the day, they're all connected. But it's a very loose connection. Like, there's a thread where in the Marvel MCU, it's very tight. It's a very tight string. You feel the string no matter what project you're watching. When you go now into current day DCU movies, there is a thread there. The string is there, but it's very loose. There's a connection, but it's very loose. And that's what I feel like right now DC should be exploring, at least for the next few years, maybe the next 5 years, before they even think about crossing over again. That, sorry, the fact that Aquaman worked, the fact that Shazam did great, the fact that Joker did what it did, and what Birds of Prey has so far done, you can all contribute to that is the director's love of the source material, the writers doing what they want to do, and the cast being able to shine on their own in those roles. And you can have your complaints, like, okay, sorry if I said that like a very like a defeated pose. No, I'm just really tired. I'm just tired. Not of you guys. I'm just tired in general. I had a long day, and where was I going with that? Yeah, so I said this before. Like, to make a movie, you have to let the creator, the person who's making the project, making the movie, you gotta let them do what they're doing, because there's a reason. Like, I've heard of studio interference before. I think I remember Ratatouille from '07. The original, Brad Bird was not the original director. There was another director, but he couldn't finish the movie. So Pixar gave the film to Brad Bird, and he finished it. And it's still one of my top 10 movies of all time. That's something that I understand studio interference is a thing. I understand it's a thing. Good amount, sometimes it works out, but most of the time it doesn't work out. I mean, we saw Justice League. We saw how that happened. And the fact that they were able to, like, kind of like, okay, here's the canvas, but you're not restricted by the canvas. You can do your own thing. Because seeing Aquaman, you didn't have to, you knew this character was from Justice League, but we didn't have to get a reference to Justice League. Hell, we could even this could have just been like an old day superhero movie where it's like, he's totally on his own, there's no connection whatsoever, it still would have worked. But we know, yes, this character is part of the larger world, but we don't necessarily need to get like the trifling of cameos, appearances from other superheroes, just to get the point. Not to say that, well, obviously the next movie, Shazam got the Superman cameo, I understand that, but that was a fun and cheek moment, but it felt natural, it didn't feel forced. Because everything DC Films did beforehand definitely felt forced. Batman v Superman to Justice League, that time stretch, everything we saw felt forced. We didn't need to see it. The film didn't need to have it, but we got it. And aside from a couple of cool moments I can think of, most of it just felt like, okay, this is a very forced seed that's going to expand hopefully someday, and hopefully it'll have a good payoff. Spoilers, some of them we did not, and that didn't really end the way it did. I mean, there's still a lot of unresolved threads from the past. Will we ever get resolutions on it? I highly doubt it. Like, the thing is for me is that I'm in this point in my life personally where after 2019, after Endgame, that was kind of like the pinnacle of like, I know what to expect, knowing where my life's going to be. Now going beyond into 2020 and beyond, I don't know how I'm going to get to see those movies. I don't know what stage of life I'll be. I don't know where I'll be in my life. So, for me personally, it was very scary. Well, for me personally, not terms of just talking about my own experience. It is a bit scary to like imagine like 4 years later, like how the DCEU will evolve. Because I don't even know how I'm going to be, but I want to see DCEU, continue. I want to see those films go along. Maybe reduce some of the development projects. I mean, the last time I checked, I think they had like almost 20 projects in development. Will all of them become films? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, that Black Adam movie was confirmed for a long ass time, and supposedly we're getting it. Again, I'm not talking crap about that movie. I can't wait for Black Adam. Alan is currently squealing that the fact he's going to get 2 Shazam-related films in a very close proximity in a couple years from now, so he's very happy on that. But it just seems so far away that, for me, getting to Birds of Prey was like, oh god, I have to be really, really curious and lucky to get to see how these movies turned out. And I'm happy I did. Like, these movies did so well. Critically, I feel like baseline through, there was just more positive reviews than ever before. Again, I understand people will have their criticism, people will have their thoughts on them that doesn't necessarily agree with everyone, and I agree with that. You're allowed to have your own opinion that doesn't necessarily agree with the norm. Everyone has their own different tastes. It's just the only thing that currently is confusing me is that even though, yeah, DC Films got its groove back creatively, commercially it's kind of like up and down slow. Like Aquaman made $1 billion, Shazam only made a little bit under 400 million, Joker made $1 billion, and Birds of Prey's underperforming. I mean, I don't want to say this is the superhero fatigue that everyone's been talking about for years, but a lot of people really are enjoying Birds of Prey. They really are. And if you're going to say, well, because of the China and the coronavirus thing, they can't get all the movies anymore. Suicide Squad, I don't think, opened in China, and it still went up to $700 million without China. So, with that being said, I guess you could say, like, well, it's a Harley Quinn movie, so that's the Harley Quinn fan base. I guess, per se, but I just don't understand why the bad DCU movies, the movies that necessarily didn't do so well, are the ones that made the most money. Not talking crap about Aquaman or Joker. And then now, it's like the movies that deserve to get more seen is Shazam and Birds of Prey. They're not getting anything. Well, they didn't get everything. Well, Shazam's a commercial success, but Birds of Prey, like, why? For me, personally, I view it as DC Films kind of like properly getting their start again. Where I don't think people are going to really trust them just yet. I mean, the people, loyalists like me, the hardcore fans will support any film going into it. But obviously the movies like Wonder Woman and The Batman and the Suicide Squad are going to do tremendously well. And we'll have this conversation again when we get around Black Adam time. For me, personally, remember, Marvel Studios did not start out making more money than anyone. They were about average. Hell, even the first DCEU movie grossed more than Iron Man. Man of Steel grossed more than Iron Man. So, in terms of that, DC got it off to a great start. But now it kind of like, it stumbled a little bit, so it's got to re-earn its place in the properties that not everyone knows yet. So hopefully when Shazam 2 comes around, maybe when the Suicide Squad comes around and reinvigorates people on Harley Quinn again, hopefully things will go well. But I believe in DC Films again. I'm really happy that they got over the slump, and now they're able to kind of explore the next wave, the next generation of DCEU movies. Hopefully they'll all be great. Hopefully. Just don't screw it up again. But do still make Justice League 2. And bring back Henry Cavill as Superman? Por favor? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please, this was... I screwed up there. This was Let Joe Talk from Action X. If you want to see more Let Joe Talk, please subscribe to Action X on YouTube. The yawning is overpowering me. Ring the bell for notifications when we have a new episode live. Like, favorite, share the video if you please. Follow us on all the social media feeds on Twitter and Twitch. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. I'm going to go sleep. Peace out.